What is up, guys? It's your boy Mesa and welcome to Mesa's Kitchen. Today we're making some chicken with sauce and fries. Red Bull.
Nice.
That's good. I got my chicken here. What is fucking slimy? I don't like my meat slimy. Got it! I'm gonna cut away all the nasty fat I see because I don't want that in my food.
Riverside, motherfucker.
I'm a boss ass. I'm a boss ass.
I'm gonna burn this. It's pretty fucking good. Ready? Thank you for checking out today's episode of Mesa's Kitchen. See you later. We are here to talk about the new update for BloxRP, which basically is like a cryptocurrency update.
Nice.
And basically what it does is that it adds a crypto market to the bank, which is for now only holding one currency. And the thing is that you can go into the market and you can select a coin. So basically what you see here is that one coin is available at $200 and 3 coins is available at $250. And on the other side, players have said that they want to buy one coin for $100, 15 coins for $90, and 50 coins for $50. So people want it cheap, of course, and those who have it wants to sell them expensive. And in between this point is going to be the actual value. It depends on what you want to pay for it or which one was sold. So basically the price comes down to what you want to pay for it. We also have a new job going to be available. The job is called Cryptominer, and of course it's a Game Pass job because that money. But don't worry, it's going to a good cause, okay? It's worth it. Buy it. If you have the Cryptominer Game Pass, you have access to the premium section, and this stuff right here shows some information about the instant market, the crypto miner job, and blah blah blah. Boring shit. I have this video so you don't have to read this, okay? So basically the market on the instant market is going to open and close depending on if too much is sold, too much is bought, or if it breaks. You never know. So the thing about the instant market is, because it's instant, this is not sold directly to players. So if you want to buy, let's say you want to buy 10 coins, it's going to cost you 2,500 because the buy price is higher than the actual value. Well, if you want to sell 10 pieces, it's going to be only 1,500 because the sell price is lower. Let's say you're selling to the Bank of Bloxade. They don't want to pay full price for it because they don't need it, and they don't want to sell them for cheap because they don't have to. And this, again, will either drive up the price or drive it down. So what you're looking at here is the cheapest rig available. This is basically just a computer with slots for miners. And a miner itself cannot do it. It needs a rig to work. Enter the F3 shop. And here you can see, just because I'm a crypto miner, I have access to the large rig and the medium rig. But if you're not a crypto miner, you can only access the small rig, which is 3 slots. And the normal miners. These miners is the first of its kind, and later new miners is going to come. I'm using the new proximity thing, proximity prompts, and they are really messy to work with, so you're going to have to forgive me on this. To stop you from messing around with it, you can press L, which is basically going to disable the ability to pick it up or move it around. The rig connects to sockets like anything else, and it's going to draw power from the fuse box. So what you're going to do is that you're going to go to the miner, you're going to press E to mount it, and you're going to press E on the rig, and it's going to get inserted into a available slot. Nice BloxRP quality is that if you get too close to the other miner when aiming, you're just going to dismount the other one. And we don't want that to happen, so we're going to try to look as much towards the main part as possible when injecting them or mounting. Okay, so what we're going to do now is that we're going to start this miner, and then you have to open the terminal. Basically, when you open it, you get these two lines saying help for help and exit to leave the terminal on. You can also click this across in the top bar if you too lazy to type exit. But to get a list of the commands, you basically press help. And this is going to make a list of all the available commands, which is a lot right now. So to be able to start the miners, what you can do is you're going to write start. And this is going to start all the miners, but it's not that simple. To make sure that they're started, we're going to go into here, which says list, get a list of all miners in the rig. And this is going to show us information about all the connected rigs and which slot they're in. And you can see this is not running. Okay, that means there's a problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to type info, and then we're going to select a number of a miner to get information about. So we're going to go with miner number 1, and as you can see, it is bugged because of error 1. And what the fuck is error 1? You might think. I have added in the help section a button to see error codes. So if you read here, blah blah blah, there's 3 sets of error, blah blah blah, bunch of shit, and it says here error 1 means miner does not have a selected cryptocurrency. Because we're going to probably be able to mine different types of coins in the future, you need to select which one you want to mine. And that is currently the error that is on all of these. So if you write info for number 2 and info number 3, they all have error number 1. As you can see, we're now in the info command, and we're gonna want to get out of this, so we're gonna write abort. Now we're back at the main place. So now we're back at where we need to be. So if we go back to help real quick, we can see that there is a command called config to configurate a miner. But also, since we have the Cryptominer Game Pass, we're also able to write autoconfig, which will automatically configure and do all this boring for us. But for the sake of the video, I'm gonna do it manually. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna enter config, and you're gonna select a miner. Now this miner is 1, or the one we're gonna start with, and it wants us to select a property to edit. And the property we want to edit is Cryptocurrency, and we want to set it to BloxCoin. And it's going to attempt to change it to BloxCoin. Or if BloxCoin was not an available cryptocurrency, it would throw an error. So now we can go back. We jump one set back into config. Because not sure if you noticed, but if we go into miner number 2, we are now in config, and then under the next miner. This is miner number 2. So we're going to do the same here. We're going to select Cryptocurrency BloxCoin. Then we're going to go back, do it for miner number 3 as well. Cryptocurrency BloxCoin. Now you can write BloxCoin with small letters or big letters, it doesn't matter as long as it's a valid coin. So we can either go back or we can just go abort straight from here. Now, if we go back into the list, they're still not running. But since they are now all configured, as shown in the info, it is now mining cryptocurrency, BloxCoin, and the value of the BloxCoin. But it is idle. So what we can do now is we can start them. Now, if we go back into the list, we can see they are now all running, which is good. You may also wonder what does this mean? What does rate mean? This is basically the speed of the printer. We go into crypto. If we go into crypto info, this will show all the available cryptocurrencies in the game, which is currently only BloxCoin. It will show the value and difficulty, current block, and total hash. The total hash is still the speed, but the speed of all miners combined on the server. For fun. I died of hunger. Alright, so we're back to where I was before I starved to death. But basically, the current block is which coin we're mining. Basically, one coin is one block. When you mine one block, you get one coin. Or when several players mine one block together, they split the coin. They split the coin depending on how much work they did to mine it. And the difficulty is an indicator of how effective your miner is going to be. And currently, the difficulty is 1660. But since it's been a while since I did crypto info, so crypto info, if we do it again, we can see that the difficulty has changed. It has gone up, and also the block has gone up. We have now successfully mined one block, and that means that the difficulty is going up, which also means that our miner is slower now. But you might want to know, how do you get your coin? You put all of this money into mining, but when can you get paybacks? So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go to balance, and this will show your total balance. This is how much BloxCoin is inside the rig, and you want to take these out. So we're going to withdraw, and then here we can either select BloxCoin or all. If we're mining several different coins, we want to take all, because we want all of it in our wallet, because people can actually steal from your rig. So what we're going to do is we're going to write BloxCoin, and it's going to take some time to validate our account, and it's going to say transfer complete when it's complete. As you can see now, our balance is now far down, but still not zero because we mined a little bit in between. So we're now at the trading, and basically I have a bunch of BloxCoin because I have been mining off stream. But basically what we can do is that we can now sell these. So let's say I want to sell these 15 coins, but I don't want to sell it for 208 because that is too low. That is not worth my job. I'm going to sell them for 500. So I make this order and it's going to go through. And as you can see, I am no longer in possession of my BloxCoin. These BloxCoin is now on the market. So basically how the market works is that all of these is being published to the server, and then they're at one point going to be available at all the servers that is currently active. So if you were to go into another server, people would see this offer as well, and if they choose to buy it, then it's going to take a while to confirm that they can get it. So if you put these out for $500, but you decide I don't want to sell them for 500 anymore, then you can go into your active orders and you can click abort on the sale. So because this has not been published yet, it says order successfully removed, but sometimes it has already been published, so it's going to attempt to erase it, and it's going to take a few minutes to check because it wants to make sure that no one has already bought them. And when the times come to where it's checked, you're either going to be notified that they have not been sold, or they have been sold, which you're going to get the money. Even if you log off, this is still going to happen. So when you join, you're either going to have them or you're going to have money. You can go and sell them here if you want to also. You want to sell your 15 here, select the coin, then the amount. This is what you're going to get. It's far less than you can get on the market. But then again, players have to buy it. Okay, so now what we're going to look at is the types of error codes. As you can see, there's two types of error, which is one, miner software update, and number two, miner needs repair. So we're going to get a list of the first four printers because I have tampered with them, and we're going to go to info of number one, and this is error 201. Number 2 is 202, number 3 is 203, and number 4 is 204. And all of these have a different task. So we're going to start with number 1. We know that all of these, they start with 2, so they are repairs. So we're going to repair number 1, and we're going to find out which software it needs. And number 1 has error code 201. And it says here that error codes that end with 1 means the CPU. So that is the software we're going to try to repair. And the thing wrong here is that it is missing a number. The number is random, and the outcome is random now. The expected outcome means that we are looking for the number 13. And here we have 7 and 3. If you add those together, that is 10. So we are now missing 3. And that means that 3 is the missing number here. 3. Correct. So I'm going to go to the next one, number 2, which is error code 202. So we can see here that that is the localizer. So you think of the first row as a key. Now you know which number to type by the numbers under it. There's 1. It says 1 here instead of 0. That means that we're going to add 5. And it says 1 here instead of 0. That means that we're going to add 3. And there's only 0s here, so we're not going to add anyone. And again, it says 1 here on 4, so we're going to add 4. In some cases, there is several 1s. There can be 1 here and 1 down here. That means that we have to add 4 together. So if it was 1 here and 1 here, the answer would then be 8 instead, because it's 2 1s. But it is 4 here, so this is going to be the correct code. Going on to number 3. On number 3, which is error code 203. And 203 means that the decryptor is broken. So we're going to go to the decryptor, and we're going to get a random, or we're going to get assigned many random characters. What we need to do is find the word inside it, which is M, E, S, and A. MESA. These is the only letters I can see, so this is what I believe is correct. And it is. Moving on. Repairing miner 4. And this one has a permission error. This one has a permission error, so permission. This can look complicated at first, but it's actually pretty simple. We're looking for a key, and this is the data which is telling us the keys. So you see first D4, which will be D, and then down to number 4, which is S. E3, E, down to number 3 is O. B3 is L. E5 is Y. Correct. Now, if we then were to go back to our info, we can see now that all of these only has error 1. And error 1 means then again that they don't have a selected cryptocurrency. So instead of configuring them, we're going to use the premium features, which is shown at the bottom of the help list. Auto config is going to automatically configure them for us. So we're going to write auto config, and it's going to configure everyone it can. It could not configure number 5 because it has an error. So that is something we want to fix. But I don't want to do the shitty task. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the other command, which is reboot. And then I'm going to reboot miner number 5. And this has a chance to succeed, a chance to fail. But as you can see, it worked this time. So I can now start all of them and list them again. No. So all of my commands suddenly stopped working, and I had no idea why. So I went out of the terminal, and I go back inside the terminal, and it says now power connected. So that means that I have to go over to the fuse box and see. There is something wrong with the fuse. It is not powerful enough to hold all of these 6 miners. So we're going to have to change out the fuse. I'm just going to upgrade it to a new fuse because I know that that is enough. So we're going to go back inside, and because we lost all powers to the rig. So even though we lost all powers to the rig, they're still going to run when they get power left. That is how to repair them. Now you can get all of this information from the help section, which basically shows you information how to update, how to repair, error codes, and all the puzzle hub also if you don't want to go over watch this video again. So the next thing we're going to look at is the miners, because they can also be upgraded, which we will do by looking at the mine you want to upgrade and press T. Now these have several different options, so you can either buy the poor upgrade or you can continue scrolling through all of these upgrades and select one. If you buy the poor one, then you can go over to the medium later if you don't have enough cash, or you can just go straight to the best upgrade. And basically, if you start upgrading all of these miners and go back in, you can see that they now have a higher hash rate. So by upgrading them, you have now made them more powerful, and as seen on the type, they are extreme instead of default. And that's basically it for the update. Buy my Game Pass.